Hi, I'm Dalvin Harris for Bad City Beat. Today we caught up with John MacArthur at the Mount Clemens Public Library after his presentation on the Packard Proving Grounds test track.
The short history of the Packard Motor Car Company, short history of the Proving Grounds out of Utica, out in Shelby Township, and just gives them an idea of the value of the historic site, where it's been, where it's going, what's going on there today. And that was the main gist of it, was to talk about that as a testing facility. It was designed to basically take the cars to extremes. I mean, extreme speed, to test all kinds of conditions, be it sand, cold, hot, and really put the cars through their paces so that they could build the best product they could.
The Packard Proving Grounds were built in 1927 in order to test Packard cars better than they could be tested on the streets of Detroit. The $1 billion Proving Grounds were built 22 miles north of Detroit in Shelby Township. It had a 2.5-mile oval track built for high-speed testing, so well engineered that drivers can travel around the bank curves at 100 miles per hour without holding the steering wheel.
Well, with the 2.5-mile oval, I mean, it was very big, and that was about as big as they got, and it certainly had a national following. This one, with its 31-degree banks, I mean, proved early on it was the world's fastest and was that way for 24 years. So I think it was fairly unique. At that time, it was thought to be kind of way out in the country, north of Utica. It was a straight shot pretty much out Van Dyke from downtown Detroit near the East Grand Boulevard complex for Packard. So, it was basically located 22 miles north of the factory complex.
Packard also used the Proving Grounds for aircraft engine development and testing. The company constructed a runway in the 300-acre track infield that led to a 4,000-square-foot hangar. Famed aviator Colonel Charles Lindbergh even visited the site in 1929 to test fly a Packard-powered plane.
Yeah, certainly Packard Aviation. The infield, had a hangar in it, had a landing strip. Also outside of the track itself, once again, it had hill climbs and sand pits, and they pretty much used most of the 560 acres out there. I think it's a historic gem. It's part of our automotive heritage. It's, I think, on the National Register, on the State Register. The history-making events that occurred out there, I think, are important. And I just think it's a real gem that has come back to life and tells a unique story in the history of the automobile.
The Packard Proving Ground served as a fantastic testing facility with roads that had gravel, mud, water pits, bumps, curves, and railroad ties. Not to mention the speed test on the 2.5-mile over track and Michigan's own crazy weather. Any car tested there sure met standards.
Well, they can see the progress that we've made with the exterior restorations, the interior restorations that are going on. There's constant improvement out there. Progress being made almost on a weekly basis, so people that visit the site can step back in time into the early 1930s and feel like they've gone back to an old automotive testing facility and see some of the cars that we have out there that have been donated. So we have a number of Packards out there that they can see and can arrange to ride in and tour the grounds and the cars.
For more history and events on the Packard Proving Grounds, visit the website listed below to find out what made this track the fastest track in the world. For Bad City Beat, I'm Dalvin Harris.